All right, we are here. Can everyone hear me? Well, doesn't matter if you can hear me or not. We're gonna jump right into things. Well, this is exciting. My first stream. I'm still learning the ropes. I don't know if anyone here was for the last one, but like you could hear myself and everything. It was something. It was an experience, but we're here now and we're making it. So let's go ahead and jump right into things. So this is completely from scratch. I have Pinterest for some inspiration, but I don't really have any photos I'm like going off of. So I'm just like scrolling through and like looking at some ideas, and I think I will always be an advocate. You should always use reference. There's always this perpetual lie that people like to say. It's like, oh, you shouldn't use reference. It's like, dog, how else are you supposed to know what society looks like? So, I mean, come on. What are you supposed to know what anything looks like? So we're just going to go from scratch, and we're just going to see where it takes us. We're going to go with the creative process. So it might just be something super ugly, or it might be the most beautiful thing we've ever seen. We don't know. So anyways, I'm starting here with the horizon line, just so we know where we're kind of looking from. So one of my favorite things to do is kind of just go with the flow. But I think it'd probably be better if we sketch, first of all, because I feel like that is probably something we should do. So let's go ahead and just sketch in some ideas. You know, I'm a sucker for clouds, if you've seen any of my posts. So let's just get some clouds here. This is kind of similar to what we did today. You know, I probably should be a little more creative than that. Let's make the focal point this. We'll start with a big tree here. We'll have a big tree here. We're just going to sketch it in. We'll just start with the sketch of this. We'll have this the main focal point. And obviously this is just our base. It's not going to look anything like this by the time we're done. We'll have this a very overarching tree. It'll probably go way out here. Cast a huge shadow on the lands. You know, we love that about trees. Trees are beautiful. So we can have maybe some shrubbery back here, some trees back here. And you know me, I'm a sucker for pathways. So we can add a path too. We're making it. We're doing things here. In case you're wondering, I'm not using a mouse. A lot of people ask me that question. I'm not using a mouse. I'm using a Huion. I never remember what the name of it. It's like WH1409. It's something like that, you know? So if you're wondering what I'm using that. It's a fairly inexpensive tablet. It's like $100 maybe. So, I mean, it's no Cintiq. It's no, $1,000 or more. So, you know, we're just gonna run it, and we'll keep adding more trees here, cause who doesn't like trees? I'll probably end up changing the direction of this pathway, to be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, I got a question. What inspired you to start drawing landscapes on MS Paint? You know, that's funny. It actually started because I used to use my iPad, which I still do sometimes, on Procreate, and my Apple Pen, like the tip broke for some reason. So I had to replace it, and I was doing a daily art challenge, so I was like, you know what, I still gotta do a piece. And I was like, you know what, I wanna use MS Paint, because I thought it was gonna be a difficult challenge. I ended up realizing I really liked it. So I was like, you know what, shoot, I'm just gonna keep using it. So the rest is history. Now I use it all the time. I love it. I guess that's kind of what inspired me to start on MS Paint. Very, very fun. Very cute. All right. We're just building up some trees here. It's not too bad. I think my goal is it's probably going to be casting a lot of shadows and on this pathway. And I think it will be beautiful. Even if it's not, I think eventually it will be. So that's what really matters, you know? All right. Cool. Let's think about this. Probably need to move some things around. That's the one thing that sucks about MS Paint is it's hard to move things around. Like, honestly, if you can afford, I mean, if you have an iPad, like, have I gotten into humans yet? Yes. If you scroll down, I used to always draw people and faces. I actually do caricatures and portraits a lot. I still do. But, you know, I really like doing landscapes a lot. But no, I've not neglected my love for drawing humans. All right, you know what? This is a fine base. I'm more all about the process. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start painting in my background. And now that I have this image seared in my head, I'm just gonna send it. I'm just gonna do a little background. So the brush I'm using here is this marker brush. I use this brush for mainly early stages because it's a really thick brush and I can draw a lot. The only reason I don't use the oil brush here is because it like kind of dies off sometimes, but if I'm just using the marker, it's really good for filling things in. So that's what I use it for. So I'm just going to fill things in here. So the one thing about MS Paint is it's kind of lack of tools for, you know, gradients or whatnot. So it's kind of hard to do like skies. I think there's ways to do gradients in MS Paint. I'm pretty sure you can do something with like aspect ratio. To be honest with you, I know nothing of that, but I kind of like this process of like painting. It feels like I'm painting in the sky. It feels a lot more natural and adds a lot of texture. What I really love is the simplicity of it. Like, I feel like I'm just painting. I'm not really focused on any cool brushes that give me some foliage, you know. I'm just kind of forced to use what I have and just go with it. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do that. Let's just keep painting here. Fill in this background. I saw a couple people tweeting at me telling me I should do caves. Maybe that's what I should have done, but I feel like I'm too deep now. I feel like I already got this idea, this landscape I want to do, but I think I probably should be a little more diverse in what I paint. You know, you can always improve and always get better at things. And I probably should get more used to painting different sceneries like caves and things along those lines. Watching in Tennessee. Wow. I got my mom in the chat. What a supportive mother. I love her. I'll try to keep reading comments as they come through. You know, kind of keeps me company, you know. Maybe I should play y'all some music. That'd probably be really nice, but I don't know. I don't know anything about copyright, so I would probably have to find some like royalty-free music or something, but I did not plan ahead. So, you know. Gamerman asks, do you have experience with drawing robots or Gundams? Also, your art pieces are really cool and calming. Keep going. Thank you, Gamerman. I don't draw a lot of robots. I think I have before, but it's no good. I don't think that, I probably should get better at doing that kind of thing. It'd be kind of fun to do in MS Paint. It'd be a challenge, but I think it would be fun. And I think MS Paint could probably work very well for that. So maybe I should. Maybe I'll do some robot studies coming up here, and I'll post them on my Twitter. Sing for us. I'm not singing for you. Sorry. It's not gonna happen. I don't want to, you know, flex my talents too much. I can't be singing and drawing. For anyone wondering, I can't sing, so. All right, we've taken a nice second here painting in this background. I should probably honestly just speed it up here a little bit. Probably going a little too slow. It's a very bright sky. Oh, I don't like that color, but it's okay. So it's a very bright day out. So I'm imagining it's going to be a very green scenery, you know, nothing I've never done before. Okay. Well, we're doing something here, and I don't know what, but the early stages never look pretty. It never looks pretty, but that's okay. It's all about the process. Like half the time when I'm painting, like the first 30 minutes or even hour, I'm like, man, this does not look good at all. But you know what? We're working up. We're working up there. All right. I'm just going to, I mean, this is really just outline. So I have a frame of work where all these are going to go. Let's go ahead and put in this grass layer. And I'm just going to use a very just kind of green, kind of pale greenish color here. Just as a base. And now I'm going to paint on top of it. Nothing too crazy. I wonder, actually, no, I'm going to use this. I sometimes, because I'm kind of using an outline here, which I don't often do, but I'm trying to use an outline to help visualize for y'all. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Because I think you should always use an outline. It helps you give an idea of your composition and everything. But you know, I just like to send it sometimes and just fix mistakes later down the line, which I think is okay. That's totally okay. We are going now. Sassador said, "These are amazing," and then sent a fire emoji. I appreciate that, Sassador. It's very kind of you. I haven't even done anything. Except kind of paint in some here. How do you learn to draw landscapes and why? From Kimoni. Hopefully I didn't say your name wrong. But how did I learn? I'm mainly self-taught, but I don't know if self-taught is really the right word because, I mean, technically no one's self-taught. At the end of the day, you're always observing and, you know, unless you absolutely don't watch any tutorials. I always watch tutorials on YouTube and stuff. So that's kind of that's how I've always gone about it. Watching tutorials on YouTube, studying other artists. I love taking inspiration from other artists. That's always my go-to. You can learn a lot and not necessarily copy their style, but adapt their style to your own. And then like taking pieces from everyone, and it's kind of cool. Because when you think about it, there's no such thing as original work. I mean, everything's already there. I mean, we got nature, for example. Like, anyone who draws a tree, that's not really original when you think about it. But it's all about just observing and morphing things to kind of fit your own style and your own way of doing things. Okay, well, I got something going here, I think. And we're just going to continue off it. I think I had a tree here. I'm going to start with a pretty dark color. I had this dark brownish. I'm not good at explaining these things, but I'm just hoping it'll look good in the end, you know? Jennifer says, "Send it, Christian. We are picking up what you are putting down." Well, thank you. Hopefully you're not picking up any bad habits, because I'm sure I have some. Let's get a tree here, get the base. I mean, the base really is just kind of almost like an outline, because at the end of the day, we're going to be putting in so many leaves and things to really sell it, to really sell us on it. But we're going for something here. It's so basic. This looks like, you give some kid a piece of paper and you're like, draw a sky and draw a tree on it. That's what I'm doing. Sometimes it's just the basics. Stick it to what you learned growing up, All right. Drawing trees is all about Y shapes. Putting Ys everywhere, Bam. Y. Y. I'm kidding. Kind of. It can actually kind of be nice. But I'm just getting in these outlines here. Man, the weird thing about streaming, all right, is it's almost like a performance. It's like there's like this pressure that everyone's watching you. It's like, man, this better. What if this doesn't turn out good? There's no going back. Everyone just saw me do this really trash piece of work, but that's okay. We're all learning as artists. No one's gonna be perfect. Okay. You can see I do very basic shapes here. I'm not doing anything super overly complicated. Like, sometimes it's all just about doing very basic outlines. Isabel said, "Hi, Mr. Young. I can see the outcome already. This is so beautiful. To anyone reading this, it's all about trusting the process." Isabel, thank you for saying that. It is about trusting the process. Because half the time, I'm watching and I'm just like, man. By the way, if y'all don't know, Isabel is a really great MS Paint artist herself. I have the pleasure of seeing a lot of her work on Twitter, and she also has a YouTube. Definitely go check her out. I think it's Isabel, like MS Paint is next to her name on Twitter. Definitely go check out her stuff. It's really cool. I really like her style. She does like some Studio Ghibli-esque styling, things like that. Really cool stuff. All right. You know what? Something's happening here. Something is happening. My original ideas are fading away. Nah, I'm kidding. Let's try this. Okay. We're just gonna fill in all this. This guy will definitely get a nice little, we'll definitely get some help later on. It's funny. It's something. It's messy, but that's okay. All right. Let's. Okay. Ba-bum, dun-dun. Something's happening. I appreciate everyone joining today. This is my first time streaming. I don't know if anyone was on the last stream, but it was like multiple layers of hearing myself because it was like picking up my computer audio. So it was like, it was a mess. I had to delete the stream and then restart it and then just delete that. Yeah, it was an experience. It's one of those things like, you know what, you probably should test it before you just go live. But I was like, I'm just going to go for it, I'm not going to worry about that. I should have. All right. Did I have a tree over here? I did. So we're gonna throw that over there. Kind of build this up. So I imagine these trees are going to kind of be like birch trees a little bit. Actually, I don't know if that's the right tree you call it. The tree that has like the white on it. You think I should know these names? I don't know the names of anything. I just know what I've seen. So it's probably gonna have like some white in it, kind of similar to birch trees, and not be too thick. Except there is this thick tree over here, but I'm gonna try to keep them relatively thin. Vinonet, I don't know if that's how you say it, but I appreciate it. It does happen sometimes. Streaming is hard, and I just started. So what does that say? A lot of people have told me I should go on Twitch, but I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. YouTube ain't too bad. I don't know. I feel like Twitch is more gaming related. So I think that's literally the definition. Like in Twitch's description is like it's a gaming platform. I know people do other stuff on it, but it's something. All right, I'm just here building up these trees, but before I get too carried away with doing all this foreground work, I should probably be working a little bit of the background. You can see I'm all over the place when I paint, and if you've watched any of my time lapses, you definitely see that. Like I'm in the foreground, then I go in the background, and then I come back to the foreground. I'm all over the place. Some people are more like by the books. You start with the background and you work your way all the way up. If you watch Bob Ross, you would know that. But I mean, oh, excuse me. It's gonna be a little different here. We do things a little differently around here. We just go with the process. Let's just build in some tree lines back here, add some depth. I'll probably add a little bit of some hills too, cause that would be cool. I mean, who doesn't like some hills? Yeah, is there tagging and stuff I should be aware of? If y'all have tips on streaming on YouTube, I will take them, guys. I'm a noob. I'm all ears. I'm trying to get better at doing things. So, a month where all streams are art streams, that's a little much. Feel bad for anyone who does gaming content and does that for a living and then, kind of cut off. Maybe like an art promotion month where they feature artists who are streamers. Maybe that would be a better solution. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here and I'm drawing. I'm painting. It was kind of funny. I didn't even plan to stream today, actually. This is kind of a spur of the moment. This is like one of those, you randomly get inspiration to do something and then you'll probably regret it later. But yeah, it kind of worked out this way. I was just like, you know what? I've been meaning to do this, so I'm gonna run it. But yeah, Ally asked, what videos do you want to post on your channel? A lot of people have been asking for tutorials and things along that nature. And I agree with them. I should do tutorials. I just am so busy. I've just been so busy with work and trying to draw and do stuff. It's like, it's kind of hard, but I do want to do tutorials. I definitely want to give an explanation on like why I use certain brushes, and things like that. You know what? While everyone's here, hello, welcome, thanks for joining. But also, the main four brushes I use is this oil brush here. I use this, what is it called, like Crayon Brush, which is really nice for texturing. Like you can see it's really nice for bushes and trees. And then I got a marker brush, and then I got a natural pencil brush. So those are the four brushes I use. I'm gonna try to stay focused and do this drawing, but in case you're wondering what are my go-to brushes, those are the ones I use, and you'll kind of see how I use them as I go throughout this painting, how they help add texture to what I'm doing, and things along that sort. But back to what we're doing. Back to the grind. Okay, so I kind of have some hills in the distance here. Nothing crazy, just trying to keep it simple. Hey, follow along. I mean, this ain't no super complex drawing. Follow along if you want to. Pull up MS Paint, start sketching away, or not. Do your own thing. But I'm just gonna keep sketching in some trees back here. Help create some depth. Gives an idea of where things are heading. Okay. We'll make this hill kind of come here. All right. See, my thing is like I get bored of like doing like a background, and I'm like, you know what, that's it. I'm going back to the foreground. So that's kind of how my process is. It's like, all right, I gotta go back and do that thing. Oh, I gotta go back. You know, I don't do one thing at a time. I'm all over the place. Okay. A technique I do a lot is zoom out. I don't know if y'all noticed it a lot. I do it in my live streams. Not my live streams, but my time lapses. I zoom out a lot, and that helps me just kind of get an idea of the whole composition. And it's okay. It's okay. We're working on it. You know, it's all about the process, so hopefully it'll look good eventually. That's my hope. Every time I start a piece, I'm like, darn, I just hope this looks good. But it won't, and that's okay. And I'm using this brush, the natural pencil. I use it because you can see it gets darker. It kind of has like an opacity originally to it, and it's kind of nice to kind of break things up a bit, add some branches, you know, all that fun sort. Now the thing about the branches, I'm not that worried about them. Like, you can see they're kind of sporadic, they're all over the place, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be creating like leaves on top of them. It's really just a framework to build off of. It's not even the main course. It's just my foundation. And it's just to give me an idea where I want the tree, like the leaves and everything to go. But it's really not that important. Actually, it is important, but you know what I mean. It's not that important that it's perfect. How about that? Why did you choose MS Paint over other painting tools? I think I've talked about this before, a little early in the stream, but basically, I just like its simplicity. I think it's just so nice and just helps and forces me to kind of not rely on like fancy brushes. Nothing wrong with that, especially if you're in concept art or anything. You're trying to speed up processes, make things faster. No issue, no knock on it. I would do it. But I think for me, I just like the painterly feel of it. How about that? All right. I think something's happening here. I don't know, but I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some trees back here. And what I'm using here is this line tool. This line tool is really nice for creating some tree bases. You know, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Create some trees back here to make it not look like there's just 3 trees in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? I think you know what I'm putting down. So I'm just going to create a bunch of bases here. And then we can build off these bases and all that fun stuff. All right. Have you gone to any art classes or art school? I have not. I am self-taught in the terms of I looked up YouTube videos for free. Yeah. If you want to go to art school, no problem with that. I'm not a big advocate for it. I mean, I personally haven't done it, so maybe it's not my place for it, but I'm very much a believer that if you want to do art, you can do it. And you can, there's a lot of free resources out there. I know how expensive college can be. So sometimes, you know, it's just best to use what's free and then see if you really like it. Some people do, you know, college, figure out they don't like it, and then they just poured a bunch of money into it. It's like, well, do what you can for free, and if you like it, then invest, you know? Something along that nature. I'm going to speed this up. I don't care how these bases are, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be filling them in. Okay. Let me get an idea of how I want to go about the lighting. Do another tree here, balance it out a bit. All right. Alright, actually, nope. I hate that tree. Boom! It's gone! It's gone immediately. Out of here. I'm going to actually put another tree here. No, do I like that? Do I like the tree there? Can't decide. But maybe I will. I will have to decide eventually. All right. It's like a live QA session. This is much better. I did like a QA session a couple of days ago, and I was like, hey, anything, just... I did not like having to text all the time on Twitter. I realized I did not like doing that. This is much easier. I like doing this a lot more and answering y'all's questions and stuff. Don't mind it. I think this is okay. There's something going on here. We're making something happening. We got a base. I'm gonna add in some light here to kind of just get an idea of what's going on. I want to use my crayon tool because I think it just adds a nice little texture. Kind of get an idea of like where I want the hills and stuff. How did you feel when you got really popular and you skyrocketed? I don't know if I'd call myself really popular, but I mean, on Instagram and Twitter, I would say I've definitely gotten a lot of traction. I don't know what popular is, but it's kind of crazy. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was actually, I was doing my 365 days of art, and like 200 days in, I was getting like maybe 20 like to 50 likes per post for the longest time. I only had like 1,000 followers for like 5 years straight of posting pretty consistently, you know. And then it randomly was starting to pick up speed, and I wasn't even doing reels or anything. I didn't do reels until after I had like 100,000. But it's pretty, you can get pretty big off reels now on Instagram, but like it started on there, and I did my first post in MS Paint, and that blew up for whatever reason. And I guess the rest is history now. Twitter was a little different because even though I started at Twitter, it wasn't really a lot of my audience from my Instagram that it got big. Like, I don't even know, man. I guess just certain people were retweeting it, but I don't know how to find all the people who like retweeted my stuff. Like, I can just see that people retweeted, but I don't know who exactly is. I'm sure there's an easy way of doing that. So, but I don't know how to do that, but I'm pretty sure some like fairly large people retweeted my stuff. Like, I know Gazed Soul, who's one of my biggest inspirations. He's a great artist. And he does MS Paint work too as well. And he does Photoshop and stuff like that, and he's insane. Go check him out. He's insane. Actually cracked at the art game. Whatever it is. But, you know, he's pretty good. You're an inspiration for many people like me, though. Oh, I appreciate that. Your girl, Mooney. I appreciate that. It's really sweet of you. All right. I'm not sure how I feel about this path. It's kind of, maybe it's triggering me a bit. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna try and not have it trigger me. I'm gonna try to do something to untrigger this. Yeah, we'll do something like this. That's fine. What do you work as? How do you find time to draw? I am a consultant, a digital marketing consultant by day. So I work full time doing that. I usually try to draw like in the morning when I wake up before work. I'll spend an hour or so drawing, and then I'll try to touch it like during a lunch break. Because I work remote, so that's the one nice part is like when I go on like a lunch break, I can do some drawing a little bit. And obviously after work, like right now, I draw. That's kind of how I find time to draw, is I just do those things, you know? Yeah, go for it. That's what I say. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking too much. Maybe I probably should focus on the drawing because I'm losing the plot. I'm not paying attention, but that's okay. We're just here and we're having a good time. All right. So the sun. I think the sun is going to be coming from the left over here, right? I think we can all assume that. I mean, come on, like, duh. I think we'll do that. Or it's not really coming from the left over here, but it's more so pretty top down. So it's going to be pretty high up. And so these trees are just going to be encompassing this area with how much they're going to be taken out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of filling in on these trees in the background. Things like that. All right. All right, I'm just using this to block in shapes here, in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm just blocking in very rough shapes, not worrying about the details too much right now. That's really the important pace of your, the important part. Did I say pace? I don't know what I'm saying. Important part of when you're drawing is blocking the general shapes, not get too caught up in the details. As you can see, sometimes I do, and then I have to stop myself. I have to be like, okay, hold off, Christian. You got to focus on, the big picture here. What are you trying to achieve? Focus on that. Get into the nitty gritty later. That's what I'm trying to focus on. At least something like that. Something is happening, and I don't know what, but it is happening. And whenever it happens, it's happening. Okay, back up here a bit. That's fine. It's whatever. Not a big deal. We're painting. We're doing things. Things are happening. Okay. I just got some shapes in here. Nothing too crazy. But it's enough for me to be like, you know what? I think I can go ahead and start working on my main piece, which is going to be these trees are obviously going to be the main focus in the pathway. The biggest parts of this painting. So now, let's get into painting these trees. I always start with really dark colors. I like to do that. And then I just start painting in some trees, some leaves. And I like to use the crayon brush. You can see it has this texture that kind of has those gaps of light in it. And if you're very soft, you can kind of create these dynamic shapes, which are really nice for creating the illusion or the idea that there's just a bunch of leaves piled together. I obviously touch it up with other things to make it, to sell it more, and it doesn't look so monotonous and the samey. Because it's easy for it to become that if you're not paying attention. So I'm just focusing on getting in the general shape here, getting things going, nothing too crazy. Yeah, super fun, exciting. 43 likes on this live stream, man. It's insane. Y'all are killing it. Y'all are so freaking nice. The people who are stopping by. And the people who've been here. I don't know who's been here since I started. If you have, hats off to you. Because I'm sure you're like, man, this looks so bad. I don't know where this is going to go. But if you stick around, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, we're all artists here, and we're all just trying to get better at what we do, you know? I'm glad you're here with me on my journey to get better at things. And to step out of my comfort zone, you know? You know? Hi, Cope and Gustavo. Hello, welcome to the stream. I appreciate y'all saying hi in the chat. All right. We're just painting in these trees. Things are happening. We know. All right. You can see I'm switching between sizes to kind of, then I can add in these like little droplets here, kind of sell it that it's not just, you know, these giant branches, but there's also some leaves that poke out. I need to make this a little darker to contrast a little more. I mean, it's in the shade. It's gonna be dark. You know how we do. Uh-huh. Yes. I probably should get some music, honestly. Anyone got any recommendations for royalty-free lo-fi music? Because I feel like we need that. Maybe some not too loud. But honestly, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? All right, this shoes by itself a little bit. So I'm gonna have to use a lighter green on it. I'm not gonna make it so dark because it's kind of by itself. There's probably gonna be more light directly on it. Wow, there's so much brush over here, trees overlapping. There's gonna be more shade, things of that sort. So I was just blocking these big. I want to use this bigger brush here, block in these bigger shapes and things of that sort. You'll notice we're losing a little bit of that tree underneath. But that's okay, because I actually will like go back through and add in some branches so we don't lose it. So you'll see. You'll see what we're gonna happen. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. All right. But look in the trees. I'll create some shadows here. A little darker. Just as some under. You know, we gotta add some sort of form to these things. They can't just be completely flat colors. It's not how things work. It's not how life works. It's not completely flat. Let's go this. And I'm kind of just painting over here. I actually might use this natural pencil here. This is nice because it actually, because it has that opacity to it, it's kind of nice for creating some texture here. So I'm gonna use this. Now I'm gonna do some of this. Something like that. Something like that. Paint this dark, you know. Hopefully we don't lose completely all the branches. We can paint in some branches here, poke through, you know. My favorite part, which we're going to get to soon, is when we add the shade on the ground. I love it. My favorite part about painting like bright scenery with stark contrast between the shadows and the lights is always painting in those shadows. It's always so nice. Keeping it really basic here. I'm definitely going to need to add some form, not keep it as flat here, just straight down. Definitely recommend, you know, trees aren't completely, you know, just straight up and down lines. There's a lot more form to them. So we'll get around to that. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry. But right now, I'm just focused on getting some basic things going here. Let's take a step back. Looks like there's a little thing, something missing up in here. It's a little neglected over here, and we don't want anything to feel left out. We want it all to feel nice and together. So let's do that. We don't want any neglect nowhere. Show love. All right. Create some background here, make it look like it's not just on top. All right. I'm kind of liking where we're going. Nothing you haven't probably seen before, but you know, I think this stream is more of, you can just kind of get a good idea of my process, how I go about painting things. And I hope you learn something from it. You know, maybe pick up on a few things you can apply yourselves. Do you have a pet, and do you try to draw such paint animals? I want to be honest with you, I don't. I probably should though. I kind of slack in there, no cap. I don't have a pet either, so maybe if I had a pet, I'd probably be more inspired to draw animals. You know, I have, you know, a backyard, so I'm inspired, you know, to draw trees. No, I'm kidding. But no, I don't have a pet, and I probably should get better at drawing animals. I have a lot of things I should probably get better at drawing at, you know? There's a lot of landscapes to draw too, you know? I haven't even scratched the surface. But maybe one day I will scratch the surface. Hopefully. That'd be nice. Let's create some leaves out here, I hope it not look so just top heavy. And we'll create some branches that lean down here too, you know. We won't leave it just like this. All right. I'm kind of liking where we're going. Let me add in some branches here. We can add some lower branches, kind of low here. All right. Just having a good old time here. All right. All right. Okay, we got a pretty close idea of the trees. You know, things are happening here. So let's do a little something here. And let's touch up. Let's just keep touching up things. Let's just keep going at it. Things take a lot of time. I kind of like this green in here. Add a little bit more of green and not such a pale green, you know. Light's going to be shining through eventually, so we do want to bring in some those brighter greens that will help sell the fact that there's light actually hitting the trees, you know. Right now we're just on the shadows, but man, the fun part is when you start adding the light to everything. So here's where I use the oil brush. It's kind of nice for putting in some small little leaves and things, kind of just like the idea of them. It's kind of like a little bit impressionistic, a little bit. It's a little bit of impressionistic, a little bit. Kind of redundant, but it's okay. I'll forgive me. How about that? Don't deserve it, but I'll try. Okay, here's where I get impatient. This is the best part. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put in the shadows because I got my tree bases here. I got the leaves. And everything kind of sitting on top of each other way out here. I'm like, you know what? Why not paint some of this? So I like to go with cooler colors, obviously. Kind of somewhere in between this green and blue for my shadows. Let's bring it down a little bit. Not too much though. You can, depends on your style, but I like to, we'll just get some shadows started here. I'll go ahead and get these trees, all of them. It's gonna probably need to be a little darker than that. But that's okay. That's the fun part about painting, is you can always go over it, make things darker or lighter or whatnot. Better than you think. Okay. Create the shadow that sits out here. I'm gonna use the natural pencil, kind of help with where it kind of maybe lightens up around it. Also going to extend this tree over here. I've been painting all over it, so I need to but not sit like that. Let's do this. And we're seeing the sun's on top, so we want to make sure we're selling that idea. Sun's kind of, what, at noon? I don't know. Or the sun's kind of overarching on things here. You know, you can tell I'm a professional with the terminology I use. So, obviously not a professional. Just paint for fun. Okay, so now we have this road, and I'm gonna do a dark color here too. Kind of closer to that blue, almost like gray, like a dark gray. But a gray on this, it's weird how colors work with each other. So here, I can even bring out some of this blue here. We can do this because we're rebels and we do what we want. I'm gonna actually use the oil brush here. Maybe fill this in a bit. Yeah, that's fine. But I'll leave some gaps, so it's almost like some light is peeking through, but I'll go back through and add that where the light peeks through. All right, and we know the tree is a long boy tree, so we're gonna make sure it's reaching all the way. You know how we do things. happen. Trees are painted. Okay. I think what I'll do is once I get all of this in, I think I'm gonna brighten up things. The colors are a little bit muted. I kind of want to make it a little more alive, so I'll probably bring in some brighter greens and some more saturated and not so dull, because I feel like that's how it is right now a little bit. So we can do that by literally just going up on things, you know, turning things up a notch in terms of this. Let's turn that up. So we'll bring it over here a bit. Maybe create some ideas of where I'll want to hit the grass eventually. Things aren't pretty, but get a sense of some foreground here. And then maybe bring this up to these very bold greens, very bright. I think it's Cynic's. He hates the color green. I don't know. I guess you should lean a little more yellow or something like that. He's a hater. I love Cynic's. I'm just kidding. But we're just having fun. We're just having fun. That's what we do. I want to just block in these colors here. There we go. Just get some colors here. I'm gonna back out, scrolling back, take a step back, take a look at what we've done. Things are happening. I think I need to probably push the shadows a little bit more over here. Do things like this. We do all the things, and the things do be this. Okay. Wow, that is dark. Okay. What? It's not what I wanted. Kind of the nice part about digital art over traditional, you can just keep on changing colors to exactly what you want. It's so nice. I don't know how traditional artists do it, but they do somehow, and I respect it. I really do. I really do have a lot of respect for traditional artists. Why they would want to cause themselves such pain. Things are happening. They are. You're right. They are happening. You can't deny it. All right. Just. Okay. Let's just continue. All right. Add some more of this texture over here to the road. You know, I just realized something. I don't like how this road does this. That is weird. So I'm going to do this. It's like, it was like round or something. It's weird. I don't know why I did that. That's half the time I look back on things I painted and I'm like, what was I thinking? Why would I do that? But that's okay. That's why it's kind of nice to like step back like this and like take a look and you're like, that looks kind of weird. So we do that a lot just to make sure things are all good, fine and dandy. Keep using this bright green over here. Bring things out. Because I love trees and I love green. I love shadows. So y'all know what I love. make sure to not make everything look so flat, which is the same color. So we can add in some patches here. Let me go a little darker because we're going to try to add in some like patches of grass and, you know, make it not look just entirely like green goo that just completely consistent. We do want to add some darker areas where, you know, grass creates shade. You know, it's not completely just all one color. There's lots of variation in grass. Like take a picture of grass. Usually there's quite a bit of variation. It's not just all one color. So we're gonna try to avoid that if we can. Have I ever thought about paid work or commission? You know, I actually have, and I have before in the past. I kind of realized though, why I don't right now at least, is I just don't enjoy it. Creating work for other people isn't the same as creating what you want to create. And I want to create what I want to create, especially when it comes to like my art. So that's really why I stick with not doing it for now. I might sell stuff in the future, like do prints and things. I know a lot of people have been asking for that, for prints of my work. I do a lot of sketches. I really am so bad about not finishing things. So I'm always scared to like, you know, people are like, oh, can I get this printed? I'm like, dog, it's not even finished. It don't look good. But, you know how people are. The people demand it. I do not deliver. Okay. I'm taking in what I'm looking at. Okay. Let's darken up this over here. Darken up this a bit. Just using the natural pencil. I love using the natural pencil. It's probably my favorite brush. And MS Paint, because it's just so diverse. That opacity just makes it so easy to paint clouds, paint trees, and create shape. And, you know, I really like it. It's really nice. It's really nice. So we're enjoying it, and I'm going to use it. All right, I'm already on the biggest brush setting. I always do that. I always check. I'm like, is there a bigger brush? It's like, no, there isn't. So sad. So we're just creating some form to all these trees, make it not look too flat. You know, can't be doing stuff like that. Can't be doing things like that. But I can't be doing things like this. Now I'm gonna try to get into that white I was talking about. Probably be like, add some areas where the sun peeks through, takes a peek at the trees through the leaves, and it's like, yo, dog, don't peek at me like that. But it does it anyways, because the sun does what it wants. Leaves cannot withstand its rays of light. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. It gets the job done, you know? Maybe that's too much, but that's okay. Well, we can always go back over it. It's not a big deal. All right. I'm just trying to paint in this tree a bit. This is where you can see I fall to my own demise and I get obsessed with the details. But I feel like I've already painted in a lot of the areas. Now I just gotta go back through and like refine things. Obviously the background could use some love. Let's be honest, it needs a lot of love, but we'll get there, you know. I also want to be mindful that there's a lot of green, so I want to make sure that's reflecting on the tree, you know. Things exist in areas and reflect light off of what's ever around them. So we need to make sure we add some greens on the tree to insinuate, hey, there's some grass around here. There's some greenery around here. Let's not forget it. Let's not be too rude. Let's acknowledge the grass around us. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add in a little bit of these tints of greens. I'm gonna push this to be a little darker over here on this tree, because that's what we think is fun. That's what just looks better. Back up. Okay, it's not too bad, but whatever. I'll learn to deal with it later. Dung Beetle said, yo, I was just doing a piece inspired by you yesterday. I appreciate that, man. You know what's funny? I actually saw that in my Twitter feed. I saw that you posted that. I didn't get a chance to stop by the stream, but I really appreciate that. And thank you for saying it's cool to see me streaming. I appreciate that. Hopefully I stream more. It's been a long time coming. I feel like I've been needing to stream. But it's okay. I'm here now, you know? It's about what's in the now. And I'm going to push these to be a bit darker over here in the shadow. Because right now, I like the angle I'm at on my computer, it's hard to see how truly bright it is up there. So I have to like sit up so I can see how light it actually is here at the trees. So anyways, I don't think any of that made sense, but man, I really just do appreciate everyone's support recently. Like, this is like one of those things, like, man, I would have never thought people would just show this much love towards my work, which I really love. It's just like, it's very humbling and it's very cool. It's just people are so nice. And I'm inspired by so many people. People are like, yo, check out my work. I'm like, oh, fine. And I do, and I'm like, man, this person's really good. How does this person should have way more of a following than me? Like, insane. So, I appreciate though everyone. Everyone's so sweet. Let's back up here. Take a step back. See what we're looking at. Okay, things are happening. I want to insinuate. There's like some stripe here on the trees. We'll do that. Maybe more yellow, actually. And the reason for that is for... Okay. What am I doing? Like, I don't know what my goal was with this, but I was trying to add some sort of texture. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It's been fun. It's been fun. I've been enjoying it a lot more. I think MS Paint has been where I've had the most fun drawing. Like, just I really like Procreate, but I don't know. I felt like I was like plateauing a bit, and I wasn't getting creative. But I think this has really just forced me to like be more painterly and stop worrying about all the tools and just focus on like observing and trying to replicate it with the tools you do have. You know, it's kind of where I'm at. That's why I use it. And it's fun, and I think people enjoy it as well. So it's like, hey, I'm enjoying it. People enjoy seeing it. Why not just keep doing it? It's pretty cool. We'll create some branches here. So it's not just a bunch of yeah, man, it really is fun. It's cool to just see how talented people are with the program as well. Like, and once you start using it more, you realize it's like, man, it really like people are like, man, this is a trash program, but it's like at the end of the day, like, man, it gets the job done. You can draft some. I could see myself like if I started using Procreate again, like drafting something here, and then taking what I made here and putting in Procreate or Photoshop and like just refining it there. But you got the base, you got the painterly thing in, and now just touching it up. That I could see it being a good use for that. You know, at least that's how I see it. Let's use this crayon brush. This is a nice, I like this brush for creating this texture. It's kind of similar to the tree a little bit, which I don't want to create too much of that bananas feel, but I think it's fine. I think it will be fine. It will survive. Is MS Paint my main painting software? Yeah, I would say so. Right now, at least. Maybe I'll find another program I like more, but right now, it is my main one. It's the one I use. It's my home dog, my cheese man, whatever you call it. Okay, I'm just painting in some blades of grass, sort of, kind of, not really, but a little bit. Just make it look like it's kind of grass. That there is grass here. I've been over here for a while. This is like probably the part I spend the most time is this foreground part. The background is crying out, please come work on this. And I'm like, no, I don't like you. I want to work on the foreground where everyone's looking. But that's actually not a bad thing. Sometimes people over detail the background when you want to actually over detail the main focal point of your piece. So in this case, my foreground with this path and everything. So not necessarily a bad thing. Depends on your goal. But yeah, having fun. Okay, that's okay. Not too bad. We'll go back over it, obviously, because right now it's just a bunch of strands. Let me actually do this. I'm gonna actually have more here. Nice. Let's do something. Let's do this. Back up. Okay, it's not looking too bad. It's not completely awful. It's something. What I'm gonna do though is I'm going to actually add some details to the pathway here. This is kind of fun part. Add some like patches of grass. And right now, like the sides here are very straight. And we'll fix that too. We'll make sure it all blends in. Looks like it's, hey, you know what? It looks a little more natural, you know? It looks like something is here. Do you find references online or take photos? I do both. I'm not looking at any references right now. I'm just going off the dome. But I would recommend references. I use them a lot. I find them on Pinterest, on Google. I take my own references, so if I see some like dope clouds when I'm like driving, I'll be like, I gotta take a picture of that. I'll like stop, take a picture or whatnot. Or I'll be super dangerous and try to take a picture while I'm driving. I wouldn't recommend that. My word is not. I'd say don't do that. I don't know if that's gonna legally put me in trouble, so I'm just gonna say I don't do that. I stop and take the picture. How about that? Please don't come after me, FBI. Whatever you do. But things happening. But it's all good. Thanks, Moody. What are you drawing? You said you were drawing and then you look back. I mean, please tell me your name is Paint. That'd be sick. You don't have to be. I'm kidding. No one has to use it. But, we are just enjoying ourselves here. Having fun. This piece I'm working on right now is not based off any reference, but, you know, it's very similar to something I've drawn recently, you know? So, like, I still have, like, that reference in my head, which obviously anything you draw from imagination is based off things you've done and seen already, so, but, so, I definitely recommend, if you can, find some references. It'll save you a lot of trouble, and your work usually looks better. It's crazy how that works. Do studies. Don't just copy. You know, if you do, don't just. It's very easy to just copy, but try to pick up on like what you're looking at and why you're doing it. But let's just create this path. All right. It's getting a little samey, so we'll create some like patches where there isn't as much grass or whatnot. Whatever we're adding. Whatever we're adding. Yeah. I did a sketch this morning. It was actually funny. I posted a sketch on my Twitter, and people were like, "This is a sketch?" I'm like, sketches means different things for everyone. You know, a sketch could just be a rough outline for some people, and a sketch could just be putting in the basic colors, you know? Sketch can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. They're like, wow, this is a sketch? I'm like, I mean, if it's not refined and there's just like, it's just like splotched together and it's like a lot of things are just like whatever, I call it a sketch. Yeah, no, doing for memory, you should. Like, you should do both. You should do studies, you should look at references, and then you should also try to, like, force yourself to think from your imagination and use your library, and then, you know. But I think you should do both, if you can. if you're doing anything professional work or anything, you should definitely 100% always use references because that's always just going to make your work look that much better. But maybe I'm fast at it. I don't know. How long have I been streaming? I don't know. I don't know how long I've been streaming. Like an hour and a half or something? Let me see. I can't see. So that's really nice. I don't know how long I've been streaming, but it's been a while. We're just living. Maybe I can check. Where an hour and 22 minutes. There you go. That's how long I've been streaming. So this is where we're at, and I would still call this the sketch phase. Like relatively. Like I don't think we're quite there yet, but you know, I think we're getting pretty close to like, hey, you know what? This is looking like something. This is looking like something, you know. 73 minutes. Yeah. A little less than an hour and a half. Not quite, but yeah. Not too bad. Things are happening. I probably should have get a glass of water because I'm just chilling right here. I'm not drinking any water in a while. Man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember the last time I spent 7 hours on a piece. Like, and that's not me flexing. That's me like I don't have the patience to finish my pieces and go 7 hours. If I had time, I would. I totally would. I just like usually don't have the time, and I run out. And I'm like, you know what? I just give up. So I really respect that. 7 hours. That's a long time. But I feel like that's probably what you should do. It all depends. People use those terminology. It all depends on you and what you consider it. You know, like some people would probably call this a sketch. Some people would call this a finished piece. It all depends. Depends on your preference. There isn't really one way to call something a sketch or not. You know? But we're having fun. We're doing things. I probably should start adding some like actual lighting to these trees and like where the stuff like that. I'll do that in a bit, and then you know have some fun with all that. You know what I haven't done is I haven't saved in a hot second. We're just gonna call this MS Paint live stream. You know, super original, but that's what we're gonna call it. Yeah, like usually what I call a sketch is something I would probably not sell. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, I mean, some people actually sell sketches, so that's not actually entirely true, you know? So it all depends on your viewpoint and what you are comfortable with calling your work as an artist, you know? Okay, I'm going to start adding in some harsh light. I've done it. I want to get in there. Maybe a little more yellow, less green. MS Paint live stream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's a good name. That's the killer name. All right. Let's try to figure out what's going on here. Dude, this is why I really like the natural pencil. It's so nice for just like doing these little like. If you get really close to it, it doesn't look like much, but like when you step back, you're like, whoa, it actually looks like there's some detail, but really it's not. Some inspirations of me, it's definitely Gay Soul. He does some MS Paint work and it's so freaking cool. Like he's probably the original reason I got into doing it. I was like, I didn't know you could do stuff like that in that. I want to try it. And I did, and I don't regret it. Also, Philip Ehrlich, he doesn't use actually he does sometimes use MS Paint, but like his style really suits it. So it's fun. We're just gonna get some light on the top of these trees here, and this is just like the base light. This isn't even the brightest one. But I like this. I like to work up to my lights. I think I've explained that in one of my tutorial reels I have on my Instagram. I'm like, I always like to work from the lightest light, from dark to light. Just my preference. Let's grab a little more green. So maybe that's a little too green, a little too green for my liking. Let's back up. Add some patches of light here in it. The important part of trees is always to leave gaps where light shines through. So I like to go back through and add these little lights and little gaps where the leaves are letting you see through and see the sky. It's really nice. Look up at Gazed Soul on Twitter. I'm gonna have to put it in the chat. Gazed Soul on Twitter. Just go through his media section and check out some of his MS Paint work. Like, you'll probably see I get a lot of inspiration from him, and you will probably too. He's insane. He is a really great artist. He actually retweeted one of my pieces, and that's originally how I got a bunch of traction on Twitter. So he not only inspired me, but he also retweeted one of my MS Paint pieces that I did based off a piece from him, a study from him. And it's kind of cool how that works. These people that you're inspired by share your work and then kind of get a lot of success from them. It's kind of cool. It's cool. It's so lovely. It's cool how things like that work. But I'm just gonna keep painting here. Add some light over here on this dark tree, this dark sad tree over here. No, it's not sad. Go back through. Brighten things up. It is bright outside. Not here. It's very dark outside. It's 8:30 at night. But wherever this painting is taking place, that's how bright it is. It's very bright. Yeah, bro. He's sick. Check him out. He's definitely one of my favorite artists. He's up there. For sure. He's really good. He's almost as good as me. I'm kidding. He's way better than me. So good. I know, bro. His lighting does go hard. I'm trying to aspire to be as good as him. That'd be sick, man. I'm hoping his skills rub off on me. Maybe if I study his work enough, That's the goal. I'm gonna mix all these greens together. They help kind of complement each other a lot. Make it a little brighter up here. Let these little gaps of light hit the leaves and everything. That kind of helps sells it. I'm gonna use this oil brush. It's kind of nice to. I can add a little bit of this, a little of these lights and things like that. Let's just grab a darker green. Let's do this. We're simming it, that's for sure. We're doing things. I probably should play music. I'm gonna be honest here. I probably should have thought of this initially. Can I like look up? I mean, I'm not making any money off the stream. Can I just like look up like royalty-free background music or something like that? 12 hours of free background music, copyright-free music for creators and streamers. Maybe I should just play this for y'all. Can y'all hear that? I don't know if y'all can hear that. I'm gonna assume y'all can. Can y'all hear it? I don't know. Let me know if you can. I'm gonna open. You should. I'm looking at OBS, so this is picking up. Whatever. It's also helped me not to go completely insane and get listen to some background lo-fi, chill out. Sweet, thanks Sophie. A little quiet? I kind of don't mind that. Maybe you can let me know if it's too quiet. Let me see. I don't want it too loud. As long as it's kind of background, it's fine. Apparently, it's free background music for 12 hours for creators and streamers, so you know, like it doesn't really get the game doesn't get better than that. So I mean, come on, like what the heck? Yep, I got 12 hours to go now. I gotta go through all this lo-fi music. Ooh, okay. See, y'all asked me to at the beginning to sing. I think my mom was actually in the stream. She's like, sing now. So maybe I should have sang. Maybe I should sing now. I have the voice of an angel, but I won't share it because I want to humble myself. Okay, let's take a look. Something is happening. Something is happening. You know, like this ain't that bad. I think. Like, I feel like I need to use more like this bright, like more yellows and stuff, and add some. I'm not gonna sing. No. I won't do it. I refuse to do it. Add these little areas where light is peeking in and hitting the grass. I think that'd be sick. I think it's cool. I don't care what you think. If you don't like it, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You should like it. You should like this light. I love yellows as well, man. Dude, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, yellowy green. I don't know if y'all know Cynic's designs, but I think he talks about that a lot. He does not like the color green. Obviously, there's a place for green. Green's got to be used, but I think he means just like bright green or whatever. I forget what he says, but he's the anti-green. And you know what? I don't know how I feel about that. I use it a lot, but I use it in tandem. Like I use scales of it, not just pure green. Yeah. Yes. Hey, green is not a creative color. No, I'm kidding. I use it too much to say that. I'm kind of liking. What's my favorite color? Dog, don't ask me that question. I don't know. I love so many colors. I don't really have one, to be honest. I think I always just like, if we're equating it to like what I wear the most, it's probably black. Like, I wear black a lot. And I'm not like a goth, like, but like a minimalistic black I love. It's so simple. It's clean. How can you not like it, you know? So, I'd probably say black's my favorite color. If that counts. That counts as a color. I don't know. Black's a color, right? Something like that. Is it white is the absence of color or something? I don't know. I forget how it is. It's like one of them. A colorful one. Yikes. I don't know. You know what? Maybe green. Maybe green will have to be my favorite after how much I paint it. Yeah, my girlfriend just texted me. She's like, "Yo, can I come over?" I'm like, "I'm streaming, but maybe y'all want to talk to her." So, I don't know. A good colorful black. I'm like, yeah. Green's pretty nice. I mean, look at this whole painting. It's basically all green. Kind of, like, it's something. No, I don't like trees. They honestly are kind of overrated. I paint them out of necessity at this point. Like, you know, I've really been enjoying this, painting with y'all. This has been really fun. Ooh, I'm liking this music too. This music is very chill. I'm loving this. You know what's crazy is how delayed YouTube is. It's really cool. I don't know, like, it's hard to make more engaging content because, like, I post my time lapse here on YouTube, but man, like, time lapse aren't the most engaging content. Like, it's really cool if you're like, it's like an educational piece, so if you're like really trying to like learn from it and stuff, but you know, like, listen, it's just a fact of life, and I'm just as guilty. Like, people just don't have attention spans that much these days, and like, I don't either. Like, it's just a fact of life. So you have to make like really engaging content these days to do well. Nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of, I have to dedicate a lot more time to make content like that. Unless I do like shorts or whatever on YouTube. I guess I could do that and make short tutorials like that. Maybe I should do that. Whatever the case is, we're here and I'm having fun. It took me an hour and a half for there to finally be music. Alright. I'm gonna work a little bit. I'm gonna take a break from this foreground and work a little bit more on this background. It needs some love. She needs some love. She needs something. Yeah, music does help me focus. That's for sure. I'm looking in a groove right now. I'm like head bobbing right now. This music, bro. It actually do go hard though. No cap. No cap. Look at me. I'm so Gen Z like that. Say no cap. I mean, I am Gen Z, so I guess I can. The Crayon Brush is so nice for tree textures too. It does look good on trees. I will not lie. It's actually okay. I can draw through these trees and then just paint them over. It's not a bad deal. Love it. It is hard making videos. You are not wrong, bro. It is not easy, dog. I have a lot of respect. I made quite a few videos and man, it is so much work. It takes hours. You have to come up with the idea and then you have to record it all. Then you have to edit it all. It's like, man, I've got time for that. It's a lot of work. I actually enjoy making videos. I just don't find the time to do it like I do like art and stuff like that. And then doing the voiceover, I always feel like my audio is never good enough. You could probably, like, I don't even know, like, y'all probably hear my mic bounce around all the time and, like, things clicking in the background and stuff, so you can kind of see why I don't usually do videos. There's so much background noise. It's probably annoying. You probably hear my desk shake half the time, just like, something stupid. You know what I'm gonna do? We added another tree. Who knew? There could be more. There can be more though. We're not gonna stop. I think it'd just be nice to kind of break up the plain background and add some distance between the next set of trees behind. See, this is why I like painting. It's all about the process. I just like, it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw in this extra tree, like, why not? It's like, heck yeah, let's do it. It's like, trees are beautiful. I love trees. I like painting them, so why not do more of them? It's okay. Let's try to make it not look so okay, maybe a little better than okay. But okay is okay. There's nothing wrong with things being okay. Sometimes that's all you need to give it. I'm mainly making a tree so I can add more shadows. You know me, I'm a sucker for the shadows. I can't help myself. I have to make more shadows. I'm just like, why? Why not? See, I literally made that whole tree so I could just do this right here. Boom. No, I'm kidding. That's not the reason I made the tree. I think it... do some Ghibli trees. No, can't do that. Ooh, kinda chessy. Nice. Let's back up. It's fine. It's a fine tree. It's like whatever. It's very sloppy, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll live with it. Let's save our painting. I always forget that. Like, go for a long time without saving, and I'm always scared it'll crash. The only thing that causes my app to crash is if I use the spray paint tool. I don't know why. Not the spray paint, the airbrush. I don't know what it does, but it always freaking causes my MS Paint to bug out. So I just don't use it. I just avoid it at all costs. I don't know if everyone else has that same issue, but I do. I have that issue. Oh, what? That's not what I wanted. Do I use any other art software? I use Procreate on my iPad Pro. I use that a lot. I mean, a lot, relatively. I haven't used it a lot that recently. I've been using MS Paint the most. But I do use that when I travel or if I just want to use it. It's really nice. I do like it. I do recommend it. Like, I don't discredit good art softwares. I recommend you use them. I'm not telling you should use one over the other. Just find one you like. But you know how we do. Sydney Starlight said, "Oh, I made it. Your work is wonderful." Thank you, Sydney. I appreciate that a lot. That's so sweet of you to say. Yeah, like you have to save your pieces. You use the airbrush and then then it decides to start bugging out. I know that feeling as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not cool. It's like, dog, you've been around for how long and you bugging out for that? Like, come on. Hey, man. The old man's still kicking. Okay. Okay. Changing things up here. So, okay, I do not have an old PC. It's actually a gaming PC, but it's weird. So essentially how it works is like you use the airbrush tool or whatever, you start painting, and then it's like your cursor disappears. Like the cursor disappears, it's like finicky, and it doesn't like crash like Photoshop where it's like not responding. It just is like gets bugs out and you can't fix it without saving and closing it. So it doesn't really like crash, I guess is not the right word to use for it. So it just is weird. It's like a bug. You know. I think you know. I did not advertise that I was streaming on my Instagram. I probably should have. Probably should do that. I mean, I don't know how much longer I'll be streaming, but maybe we should. Maybe we should. Okay. I'm gonna do that right quick. I mean, maybe we should get some Instagram folks in here. Oh my goodness, I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll take a picture, say we're streaming. I'm on YouTube. Okay, I posted it. Maybe some people from Instagram will join us. Maybe that'd be cool. It's like 123,000 followers on there and I didn't share it to them. I'm so rude. I'm so mean to them. So pretty weird since it doesn't happen to me, but I mean, maybe, I don't know if that's really, I don't know. Maybe though. You might be onto something. I don't know. You know? I'm not that tech savvy, even though, like, I mean, I'm tech savvy, but, like, not like that. Like, I'm not that great with computers and, like, knowing what the issue is. I'm so bad at that. It's not my calling, let's say that. Let's touch up these bad boys. We're having fun. We are living it. I do not have a cat, Sophie. I have no animals. Someone asked me earlier if I paint animals or if I have one. I'm like, I really don't. I probably should though. Kind of bad. I need to practice a lot more things. But I just love landscapes so much. But you know, I gotta do the hard thing, which is actually doing other things out of my comfort zone, you know. But here I am, painting what I love. But that's okay. No, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't know. I could show you it right now, probably, if I started using the brush tool. I kind of don't want to cause an issue, and I mean, I don't know, maybe I will. I don't know. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't even like that brush that much, so it really, like, it could be worse. It could have been, like, one of the main 4 brushes I use. My computer won't crash or anything. I'm saving this, so like, I close it and open it wouldn't be a problem. But I don't know, man. I'm just here. I'm just trying to have a good time. As long it's not my favorite brushes, I'll survive. I will survive. Now, the thing about the background is I'm not too worried about it being like super detailed. It's not the main focal point, but I do want it to not look so plain, obviously. Yeah, you're right, man. I can't jack up the flow, man. I gotta keep on the grind. You know what's up. Yeah. Just filling in just putting in very basic lines here, just to insinuate that there's some like bushes and trees all clumped together, and like you don't gotta get super detailed. You just keep it basic, keep it simple, keep it straightforward, you know? Don't be too crazy. I don't know. It doesn't look awful, but like it gets the job done. Just keeping it simple, man. That's really it, all there is to it. I'm definitely gonna clean up the sky a bit, maybe add in like some subtle clouds in the background and stuff. But I'm enjoying this, like this is fun. Leanne Garcia. I actually don't use a mouse. That's a big question I get. I actually use a drawing tablet, a Huion drawing tablet. It's like the Huion WH1401. I don't know, something like that. It's really simple. I don't use a mouse. Just to clarify. I do not use a mouse. I use a tablet and it works, gets the job done. See, I don't like to make myself suffer. I like the motion that I get from like using a pen or whatever. So, listen, I could maybe I should try like doing a painting from mouse. Like, I don't think it'd be that different. Like, let me try a mouse. Like, it just wouldn't be as like it's just not it, bro. Like when I could just, if I set it on a low setting, it's actually not that bad. Like I'm using it right now to do some things. It's not that bad if you set it on like a low setting. You can get really steady. But I'm not gonna keep using that. Yeah, pens are surprisingly really efficient on MS Paint, which is kind of weird. I don't know why, but they are. They are nice. That's just facts. Yeah, if you use a good DPI, like a small, like a very like slow DPI, you can get real fine like this, you know? So, like honestly, using a mouse, I might actually use it. Might not be bad. That'll probably be kind of fun. Might try it. Now that I just used it, I was kind of like, you know what, this ain't that bad. It'll be a fun challenge, but. So it's kind of weird, like pressure, cause like, see, I'm using you can kind of get very thin lines, but like can you do the same thing with a mouse? Let's try it. See, like, it's not as nice, but there is a little bit, like I'm pressing like softer and press harder. So there is a little bit of like, I don't know how it works, but you can use it a little bit. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's like the direction of it. They're like, it's just like how much you press, really, for like it works for a mouse, but yeah. Anyways, back to it. now I'm using that oil brush because it's very soft and it's kind of nice for these faraway trees that are in the distance. Maybe bring out the blue a little bit more because when things are farther away, they usually have that like blue tint to them. I don't know the scientific term, but it looks like that, so I'm gonna go for that. Go back over it with some of those greens and stuff. Man. Dude, thank you so much, man, for chatting. Really appreciate it, man. I will keep at it. You keep at whatever you're doing, dude. Hope your streams and your channel keeps doing well. Peace out. Ryu, with the question. Thank you for the compliment, and thank you for loving my work. Is there something specific about MS Paint that draws you to it over other programs? I think the biggest thing for me, I've mentioned this a few times already on the stream, but I like the simplicity of it, and that's really the main reason. Like, it feels very painterly, and I think that's the main reason I use it. It's very simple, gets the job done. It's fun. It's fun to use once you use it a lot. Peace, dude. Thanks for coming. Gotta increase my DPI so I can go save the image. Oh, I think my lady is here. I can hear her. Hey!
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. I'm just streaming for
How's it going?
people. You know what we're doing. You know how we do. Man,
It's looking good.
thank you. Yeah, I've been at it.
Nice.
People been chatting up in the chat, you know.
Nice.
It's been fun. It's been a good time.
Is that a YouTube stream?
It is. It's technology.
Nice. Yeah, definitely washed out a bit.
Oh yeah, my hair?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch. Maddie said it might pull out a little more too with the purple shampoo.
Yeah. The people who don't know what we're talking about my hair. I just dyed it. I've never dyed it before. So it's kind of, it's kind of like, I wanted to like lighten it to like be more blonde. I'm naturally blonde, but I wanted it to be more blonde, and it kind of turned out to be blonde, but still like a little platinum in it. So, but I think it looks cool. So I'm running with it. But, good.
Yeah.
I'm deep in this, bro. Man,
Are you talking while you're doing it too?
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Alrighty. I think we're done. I think this is it. The end of the road. Thanks to everyone for coming out and watching me paint. It's been really fun. Everyone talking in the chat. A lot of questions. A lot of people going back and forth. A lot of fun. Obviously, hit me up on Twitter and my Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube, hit subscribe. You know, we're trying to blow up around here. You know what's up. Yeah, and I think that's it. I'll be posting this probably tomorrow. And thanks for stopping by.